There are three main reasons for Germany's economic strength, and they're all fading. The first was globalized trade, especially with China and America. According to Reuters, exports to China fell almost 9% in 2023, and exports of Germany's famous cars and chemicals, well, they fell almost a fifth. Trade with Germany's other large trading partner, America, is doing better, but not all is well there either. Both Trump and Biden administrations have put huge emphasis on protectionism, attempting to protect American industry against China, but it's also affecting Germany. The Inflation Reduction Act, for example, which is essentially a massive subsidization of green energy within the US, caused Tesla to abandon a battery production plant in Germany to qualify for American government subsidies. And at the same time, Chinese protectionism is really starting to affect the German car industry in particular, and Chinese EVs are proving very difficult to compete against, at least on price. There's also a global slowdown in general outside the US. Second is the ending of cheap energy from Russia. Russia gas accounted for 55% of gas supply to Germany, and this would have expanded with Nord Stream 2. This was the energy that made Germany's factories possible in the first place. The effect of this has been profound. Energy-intensive production fell 20% from 2022 to 2023 alone. All this instability and uncertainty has had a dramatic effect on foreign investments as well. According to Bundesbank, foreign direct investment in Germany in the first half of 2022 was 34 billion euros, and in 2023, over the same period, it was just 3.4 billion. And German investors are putting their money in other EU countries instead, which truly demonstrates a true and profound lack of confidence in Germany's future. And the third reason was Germany had a young and cheap workforce. One of the reasons for Germany's rise as a manufacturer in the 2000s was because, compared to its trading partners, its wages grew slower than productivity. One of the reasons for this was the decentralization and weakening of the trade unions. This was partially done so German companies could access the huge new pool of cheap labor from the former Soviet bloc. Germany's transformation from being the sick man of Europe in the 1990s to an industrial powerhouse was built upon access to cheap foreign labor, and without the trade unions' grip on power, lower wages made German industry far more competitive. And now fast forward a few decades, and the people who built today's industrial Germany are about to retire, and there isn't anyone to replace them. And furthermore, an aging workforce full of experienced senior people is not a cheap workforce. Official government estimates suggest there will be a shortfall of 7 million workers in 10 years' time, and migrants from outside of Europe can't fill that gap, particularly when they're unskilled. So what now? It's evident that Germany's economic boom was the result of economic circumstance that surrounded it, and it cannot simply be replicated. It's outside of Germany's control. So either they can wait it out and hope that everything returns back to normal. This was Scholz's strategy. He was the first EU leader to visit China since the pandemic in November 2022, and he said he wasn't in favor of decoupling from China like America, and more recently Germany has been one of the more reluctant countries to help Ukraine. The other direction they can go in is to try and attempt to transition to a post-industrial economy, but as we are seeing in the UK especially outside of London, that is a lot easier said than done. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below.